This channel is proudly brought to you by... I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch! You talking all this shit. How many women do you have right now, sir? How many women do you have?
I'm glad you asked me that question, sir. If you go to my channel on MGTOW FLIGHT, you'll...
All right, okay. You said what I needed to know. This dude is an asexual motherfucker. Stay away from these MGTOWs. They are asexual, and what they doing is they are trying to scare you young men to getting any pussy. This motherfucker right here, let me tell you his story, okay? Why is the MGTOW? Because he probably likes some girl, let's say 619, right? Try to talk to her, and a bitch either beat his ass, took him for his money, or took him for his fucking ride. And like all those McGays out there, they want to sit around and have cuddle parties. Now, 843, am I right, sir? You don't get to talk because I hung up on your bitch ass. Okay, if y'all want to call.
Typical. Hang up on somebody that might make a good point. Hang up on somebody that disagrees with you after you sat there and confidently labeled him as gay. Yeah, don't let that man defend himself, though.
515-605-9373. This is what I'm...
Now you got his phone number, guys. So, if you ever want to call in his show and give him a hard time, give him a hard fucking time. But this is what I got to say to you, Steve. You're calling us gay. You're calling us asexual. You're calling us incels. Because I remember you called me a fucking incel when I called in and you hung up. Because you're a bitch. And the interesting thing about you, Steve, is that you're married. So you don't have to pay the consequences to what you're telling your callers to do. You're telling your callers to go out there and go to all these different bars and all these clubs and spit yak, aka spitting game, aka catching a fucking Me Too movement. That's what you're doing. You're going to cause a lot of your fucking subs to end up in the fucking cleaners one day when they, go around fucking all these different bitches, 50 to 100 bitches a fucking year. And how many pregnancies do you think that could incur, Steve? That was the whole point of MGTOW FLIGHT asking you, well, what happens if the condom breaks? Because you never think about that, do you, Steve? You send all of these men to go girl to 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 girl, catering to fucking hypergamy. And it ain't like, some of us MGTOW men where we do the pump and dump, right? The difference between PUA and MGTOW who pump and dump is PUA, like I said, it's never enough. They're always looking for that next high, that next fuck, that next pussy validation to brag about and to brag about how they did it. With pump and dumpers like me, we ain't thirsty for pussy. If it happens to, if there's an opportunity that just happens to present itself and it's safe enough, according to my standards, I will go out there and pump and dump a bitch. Right? But I turned down a lot of women, Steve. I turned down quite a bit. If they are raging feminists, I'm not pumping and dumping her. Especially if alcohol's involved. Not doing it. I'm not flirting with 50 to 60 chicks every time I go out. I don't do that. Half the time I'm out, I'm hanging out with my bros. And if a woman feels attracted to our conversations, that's when I fucking go in. But first, I vet the woman first. See, you don't even talk about vetting women. You just tell them, oh, just get it. Just get it. You're a foolish man, Steve. And the fact that you want to call us MGTOWs, McGays, and asexuals, and all this and that and the other, it's funny to me. Because I know I'm getting laid. Not that it validates my manliness. But since that matters to you, Steve, and to all you critics out there that constantly call us incels, constantly say that we can't get laid, I've got a treat for you. Check out this next clip, Steve, because now you got nothing to say when you see what you're about to see. You will have no argument from this point forward. Now, I shouldn't have to put out what I'm about to put out. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to, because it's the biggest pimp hand I could ever give to bitches like you. And by the way, being a married man, giving player advice when you've been married for like, what, 10 years? The whole game has changed since then, Steve. You got Tinder thoughts, Snapchat thoughts, Instagram thoughts, Facebook land wells, and single mothers all over these dating sites, trapping men, trapping men's resources. And you think you know what's going on in the dating scene when you haven't been in it? Bitch, please. That's like a war general talking about modern warfare when he hasn't been in the game for a decade. Sure, you might know some tactics that'll work. Cool. But you never talk about the consequences. And when somebody brings that up to you, you just hang up like a little bitch. And then you label them with all these labels and they can't defend themselves. Well, you'll never call me an incel again. Time to roll the fucking clip. Time to put this shit to rest. And also, shout out to MGTOW FLIGHT. I'm going to put his link in the description to his channel. Subscribe, let him know who sent you over. And I'm going to put a link to this dumpster fire of a stream. And I want you to smash that dislike button and flood his comments. Let him know he fucked up. Let him know who sent you over to Steve's channel as well. Subscribe to MGTOW FLIGHT. Let him know that we got his back in the shield wall. And Steve, stop calling men incels just because they disagree with your PUA garbage. Because, as you're about to find out, it just might blow up in your fucking face. These motherfuckers thought I was an incel. Dummies. What do you think about Mike the MGTOW Man? I can't hear you. Say it louder.
Fucks me like a beast.
Oh, I thought I was an incel. Okay. Man, you made a bomb-ass sandwich.
That's why I want to open a sandwich shop. I always have.
You gonna open a sandwich shop?
I always wanted to.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
friends in Bellow would always come over and I'd make everyone sandwiches. That's
Dope.
the truth.
Let me see that asshole.
Where's my
Oh,
Where's
shit.
my lighter?
I don't know, probably in that
You
butt.
did not take my lighter. You were smoking weed. Where's the bowl? Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I got it. Never mind.
Anyways, let me eat the sandwich.